All right, y'all. This is the Back to the Boom Bap podcast, and I'm your host, Monev360, and I'm excited to talk to today's guest. When I first heard his beats, it was probably whenever Corner Store Classic by Skyzoo came out. I don't even think I knew what he looked like back then. But he's a member of the Knife Wonders production crew called the Soul Council. He's worked with Rhapsody, the late great Mac Miller, T.I., Anthony Hamilton, and many more. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome Eric G to the podcast. What's up, man? What's going on?
Nothing, just working a lot. Not working, but just living. But then I just been buying instruments and stuff.
That's what's up.
With what little money I make.
Yeah. You know,
how about you? What's going on with you, man?
What's going on with me? Pretty similar. You know, just working, trying to make ends meet, but you know, doing what I love to do.
I think the way to make. I think I'm in the same boat, but at the same time, it's like I think making ends meet is more like to think about like trying to make ends meet is will produce the opposite effect. So it's like as soon as you stop thinking or like making that the thing, like it might be like hard for a minute, I think, and then it'll just like you'll fall right where you're supposed to, like a Plinko board. You know, like you land on a $10,000 one. Yeah.
Change your perspective, yeah. I like that. So you're a member of the Soul Council, which is a producer collective started by Knife Wonder. Who are the current members of the Soul Council?
Ninth Wonder is, you know, like you said, and Crisis, E. Jones, Knots. Knots did Barry Bonds for Kanye. Yep. He did, you know, tons of like that.
Yeah, tons of bangers. Busta Rhymes and
Cash. Who did I say? Jones.
Yeah, E. Jones, Knife Wonder, of course. You.
Oh, Amp. Yep. Yeah, I should have been counting. I'm so bad at this. I also am stoned, so don't. I mean, you can just no. Amp Cash, Crisis, Knots, 9.
Okay.
And me, yeah.
And
soundtrack.
Yeah, soundtrack. Okay. All right. I saw one time that High Tech was a member of Soul Council. Is he still in Soul Council? Was he ever in Soul Council?
Who? Soundtrack?
High Tech.
High Tech. Oh, yeah. I don't know what's going on with that necessarily or whatever, but that for a moment, yeah, there was a time where that was happening.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. Sorry. It's good podcast stuff.
This is gonna be good, man. I love it. So since you guys are a squad of producers, you know, like all the Jamla artists, Ruben Vincent and Rhapsody, they can just take their pick from, you know, the batches of beats that you all make. Like, is that kind of how it works?
Yeah.
When, you know?
Yeah. Definitely, like with like everything I do, like priority goes to like rap and the label, like as well as like Ian and Swank and Draft and stuff like that, like whoever, you know, like everyone on the label. Yeah, it's like just my priority because it's like Ninth saw something in me before I could see it in myself, you know, and like it like that I can never. Like, it's not like you feel like you owe somebody, but there's no way you can really repay somebody for that type of look, you know? It's just like, like I've grown over the years and stuff and like realized like, oh shit, like I didn't know what other people saw in me that was like making them like, like fuck with me or something. It's like, it's such a weird thing to like not see. Cause like you have to be sort of confident to like get to a level of respect with certain people, and that's just like I just always saw myself as like just like a loser, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Not at all, man. Like
No, not until over the last like three years, I've gotten like I like see what they saw, which is cool because they like Ninth and Rap and Cash and Crisis, everybody over there, like Tia and stuff, like Vince, they've just like been patient as fuck.
That feels like family, right? That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Outside
and sometimes it's
in,
Rap gives me the tough love and stuff, but like there's value in that, like but her and I are like brother and sister, like we're like best friends,
That's what's up.
Was that did I answer the question? I don't even remember what the question was.
You answered the question. and kind of like if you kind of lean the other way, the opposite way, because you were kind of getting out of this when you go that way, you're going out of the shot.
Well, shit. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's backwards.
Yeah, because it's back. I get mixed up with that too, but and I'm pretty sure that like it's kind of like iron sharpens iron, being on a production team like that with so many heavy hitters that you hear somebody else making a beat, you're like, oh yeah, like friendly competition. Let me go.
Oh God, like I don't think the average person, or not to say like anything like that, but like I don't think like because I never knew. I was always getting like complaints at all the apartments that like I lived at, like just for being like as loud as I am, because I like to make beats hella loud. And so like when I first got there, it was just like I got a burp again. All this leaning got my guts putting the gas out. Sorry. All right. I just remember like Ninth, first time I ever seen him make beats. Sorry. Damn. I just ate before this. What I was doing before we got on, I was putting food away.
Yeah. I ate a little bit earlier. Probably was like an hour or so ago.
Like I didn't even put that away.
Hot sauce. Was that hot sauce?
But I'm not doing a Hillary Clinton though. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, but when I got there, it's like how loud he was when he made beats was like max levels of like he'd like blow out like big speakers.
Blow out speakers. Like, okay.
Yeah, but it's so dope because it just filled he sees color within his music too and shit and like whatever. So that shit just filled up the room though, like playing it like that. So you imagine it's all of us down there or in North Carolina, and like it's like going there like every day. Sometimes I wouldn't be there for like a week because whatever, but like just like pretty much every day, and just like every room is just like blaring,
music
like
blasting,
and then you shut it, and then it's just like
wow.
But then we're all doing it at the same time, and it's like sometimes you can get like discouraged and shit, just be like fuck, like because if you make something one day and then do you make music?
Yeah, I make music as well. Yeah, I produce and stuff. I actually rap too,
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just started singing and shit, so I'm doing both things now too. But like just like you might be having a day, and especially around that, it's like I want to show up and I want to do as good as I can. Like, and it's also like family shit too. But it's like I want to be there and like working because it's like it means so much to me and whatever. You know what I mean? So like I like sometimes you like make like one beat, it took way too long, and it's like you're like it's just mid or whatever, but then you go in the other room and it's like Crisis is in there just like on his like fifth beat and they're all just fire, just like like I just like
but it definitely it's gotta help you even in those times though, because you'll be like
it sharpens the shit out of you. Like I can't believe that like Ninth Wonder and everybody like to this day like still like continues to like support me and like for him to take like a risk like that or whatever, or just to like be like it's just wild to me. Like it's cool because I'm the only white guy, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, I think that's cool kind of though,
You got the heat, man. That doesn't, you know, it don't
I know,
matter in
but
hip hop. When you
cool.
prove yourself and you make, you know, you make your name known, we don't care.
Yeah, but like it's like Bill Evans. It's like Bill Evans plays piano on The Kind of Blue, and it's like I've been so into Miles Davis for years and years and years, and I just never even knew that like the guy that played piano on that album like was a white guy. And it's like interesting that I know so much about Miles and not know about him. So it kind of gives me a thing to think about, like where like it's kind of like as a musician in general, especially with where all music comes from and stuff, as a white guy in the mix or whatever, it's kind of like I like how he carried himself. Like he played the piano with his head down. You know Schroeder from Peanuts?
Yep. They played
his I think his like form, his figure, like you know, like the hunchback,
like that. Yeah, like he's hunched.
If you Google Bill Evans, playing piano or something, you'll see what I mean. It's like where they drew it from, and I think Gil Evans did the soundtrack, but whatever. I don't for Peanuts, but either way, it's like yeah.
That's what's up. And you know, you were talking about Ninth Wonder, so I actually wanted to know how did you and Ninth Wonder first meet?
I was on an album, Sky Zoo's album, The Salvation. I had like 3 songs on there. And I had been out to New York like once before for like Torre's release, like Daily Operation. So I already knew like Torre.
Yeah.
And I think I met Sky Zoo through Torre. But anyway, so there was the release party for that album, and Ninth was on Torre's album and he was on Sky's album, but he was appearing at like Pete Rock came to Torre's release party, but at Sky's like Ninth was there, and I knew he was gonna be there, and he inspired me to start because he's so resourceful. Like he's like the pioneer of like Fruity Loops pretty much, you know. So it's like that whole idea of like being like it doesn't matter what you use. Like I still do that. I play all my stuff now on like a children's drum set, you know, just because it's like physical Fruity Loops. But just I was attracted to that. Like it's like we're attracted to like attainability or something, you know, like there's something about being dope but being flawed at the same time. Not flawed, but you know what I mean, like just not giving a fuck,
right,
you know?
right. And keeping the music raw, like, you know, and doing it your way.
It makes it be like I could do that probably or whatever. If I'm musical, I could. Not that you think you can, but you're just so hyped that you're just like, I should use a computer, man. He did a fucking Beat Society with a tower computer, like a Dell, you know?
Right.
Not Adele, the white lady, but a Dell computer, you know?
Right.
Yeah, but so I was on that album with him, so I knew he was gonna be at that thing. And then when I got there, he like put his arm around me. There's like a picture of it on Google or something, but like he was just like he's like, this guy right here has like the best song on the album, like best beats or best beat. And I was like, man, that's tight. And his arms around me and stuff, and like he's like I don't know, just taking pictures with him and stuff. The air always has been for like you'd never expect by looking at him. That's what everyone said. But like dude, I just met him there, and then I was so hyped. Like after that, I was like because like it was like the coolest moment. So after that, I moved to New York, and then I lived there for a little bit, and then since I've made that connection, like. And I've been sending stuff to like Remo and Rhapsody and shit like that back then, and Crisis too. I had met him at like a Sean or a Buckshot show, I think, but in Seattle. But like in New York, they would be there more frequently because it's a hub, you know, from North Carolina. Yeah. And so like whenever they'd come there, I'd make it a point to like show up at the event or like. Whatever, just because like, you know, we already have like I'm already working with the artists and stuff. And then eventually throughout doing that in New York, he called me and like signed me to his thing, or like he was just like, welcome to the Soul Council or whatever. And I was like, hell yeah. And then every New York visit after that, he just basically like be like, "When you gonna come to Carolina, man?" Like saying move there. And so eventually I like got worn out, and I just like went to North Carolina, and I lived there for like 3 or 4 years.
Where did you live at before you had first moved to New York?
Seattle.
Seattle.
And I was born in Auburn, Washington. It's like south of Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so let's go back to the beginning of like you as a producer. What was it that you first heard that inspired you to make your first beat?
I have like a mixed memory of exactly like, because I don't think it was like really in succession like that. I think it was like
right. I know it's kind of broad.
yeah. So I'll give a broad like whatever. It was like around the time like Pete's Instrumentals came out, and like
okay.
I was like rocking like a burnt CD of like Pete's Instrumentals, and I remember I gave one to my friend. And sorry, Pete, but yeah,
bootleg.
Yeah, bootlegged him. Yeah. No, but Mr. Pete Rock, I'm sorry. Yeah, but no, but and I was already into like Premiere and like Wu-Tang because of my cousin.
Oh yeah, me too.
So like I was like already there with hip hop, and before that it was like Nirvana and like I'll only say the good ones. So like it was like Nirvana. I don't want to say the other shitty bands. But like yeah, like just that whole early 90s, like 93 shit was just like Nirvana, Snoop Dogg, like like you know, just that everything time. Like that's 20 years ago to this year, which is super dope. You know, hella dope shit's gonna come out this year. Or like this year, next year, it's like a genesis for the new shit. But what was it? What were we talking about? Sorry.
What inspired you to start making beats the first time, basically? Like,
oh yeah, so Pete Rock, Pete Instrumentals and stuff, and then I was listening to like Fantastic Volume 2 and shit with my friends, like skateboarding and stuff.
Yep.
And then
Village.
Yeah, hell yeah. I was like still like weird at that time though. I was like kind of like got it but didn't get it because I like it was so good that it seemed unattainable to me, sort of like the way Dilla's beats were, because it was just like you didn't really hear the chops, but ninths were like like weird ass like ignorant like chops, you know.
Yeah.
And like it was like a stem off Premiere, but then ninths using the computer, and I got a computer in the office like or whatever, like where my dad like does his paperwork or whatever, you know, like paperwork, like whatever, I don't know. But like so it's like you can just get a demo of Fruity, and then my friend Rashad, he had a like he always like used computers and knew how to get cracked software and stuff, so I just like got Fruity like that, and then I just started fucking with it. I remember though the first beat I did make, it was because I was using Fruity Loops. But actually, no, that's not true. That's not true. I started. Well, no, that was like the first time I actually was like, oh shit, I made a real beat or something. But we used to use MTV Music Generator, and then we had a demo version of that.
I had a friend in college that made beats on that. Yep.
So that's where we started. But you in the demo you couldn't save to your memory card or whatever, so you had to figure out how to jimmy rig the like audio out of the TV or VCR or whatever, and then record it onto tapes, which was sick though. And like, I wish I had those still. That'd be so tight. But yeah, but basically Fruity Loops though.
Okay.
And it was that island drum break. I remember I used that, and like, because I already knew how to chop up stuff because I was editing videos in school, like skate videos. So I already knew how to like in Adobe Premiere.
When you first got on FL, you already were like sampling and stuff. You never did stock sounds.
Well, yeah, I was using like MTV Music Generator, but I understood sampling. Like I was like, oh, because my Rashad's brother also, his older brother Boopy, he like made beats on like an MPC, so I'd be around him and his brother and stuff, like just growing up, and I was like, damn, that's so tight. Like he was beating fire too. Like he's super tight. But yeah.
So Yeah, so you said you were using first MTV Music Generator, then FL Studio. So like what are you currently using when you make your beats?
Now I'm using a drum set, piano, a guitar, and a microphone.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm still recording into Fruity, but I'm writing songs and doing covers and stuff. Like I'm doing it like Prince does or did.
Yeah, you're
you know how Prince played every instrument?
Huh? What was that?
Yeah, you know how Prince like played every instrument?
Oh yeah.
Like it's like what I'm doing. So I'm like coming up with like I'm gonna put out a cover of something soon, but I've already got one pretty much done. But it's just I just want the vocal to be like, it has to be a good thing because I'm covering someone else's song. But then after I get this thing nailed down, I'll be able to just like willy-nilly make stuff up, and it'll be super fun. Because I didn't know I could sing and like play all these instruments. Like
all these years you didn't know you could sing.
I did. Maybe I couldn't though. I don't know. It's like the same thing with like earlier. Just like I used to just be hella insecure or something.
Yeah, I can understand that. And I mean, like I said, it's, you know, I see it as like you're growing, man. You know, you've been making beats and stuff, and just evolving into the next thing that you'll be doing. You know. So.
Yeah, and also I think of it like this. It's like if someone's gonna take you under their wing the way that Ninth did and stuff, it's kind of like Ninth grew with his production. Like he went from Fruity to the MPC to back to Fruity to then Machine. Yeah, but it's like it's sort of, this is like my version of that, and we would be about the same age now when he was doing that. So like I just look at it like that, and I'm also hella influenced by Terrace Martin, like just being around him and stuff, and like just seeing like how real musicians and whatever, like looking at the club that I'm gonna be a part of or whatever, you know. So it's like, oh, and like I always learn so much without having to ask questions or nothing or be told anything. You just observe.
Yeah.
It's like so sick how simple everything is. It's just all about confidence, man.
Yeah, that's what's up. And so like as far as your drum kits on like beats that you've done in the past, did you get your drums from like vinyl, or did you use drum kits?
Yeah, all of it. Like I use vinyl, or you know, I used to sample records before I moved to New York, but then I just like, it was too much weight to carry over like a collection of records, and I figured out how to use like SoulSeek and shit, you know.
Yeah.
So like I would just download stuff. And I started thinking it was kind of tight, like a new version of like digging or something, because it was like, oh, the whole record store and everything, and even the beat machine and stuff is all in my laptop. That's crazy, you know.
Yeah.
I just thought of it like that. But yeah, drums come from anywhere. But now that's what I like it like, and I would still EQ them and stuff, but I'm such a non-computer person. Like I hate computers. Like, so like now it's just cool because it's like, now I got this children's drum set that I have to like kind of like modify to be like the sound I want to record and stuff. And it's like no one else is gonna be able to have those, like, and stuff. And it's like basically like over the years, like you kind of like become the sample, you know.
Right. You can do your own, make your own drums now, and
yeah. I'm not trying to say that it was like, it never felt like learning like any instrument. Now I can play piano, guitar, and I can play drums. I've been playing drums but when I was 8, I did. But yeah, like it's just, I think it's like it's just like a really fulfilling to me right now. It's like I'm super inspired to like really show, because like my friend Cricket, she lives downtown LA where I live, and she was on like American Idol when she was like 16 or 17 or something like that, and she made it to like Las Vegas and stuff. But then she's had a harder life like after that, like with losing her like this like some sad shit. And then but she's like, meeting her was like, we're not like we're like brother and sister, like we're like weird aliens together or something. But she's like been telling me like, since she can sing and her voice is like amazing, like you know when people can hold a note like like I'm not even gonna try it, but like just like hold a note at a certain volume, but it's like not straining.
Build it out.
Like she's amazing, and we live in these loft buildings that have these hallways that reverberate. She'll sing, and she's like, oh, I don't know, I'm whatever. It's like, okay, but she encouraged me to like. She's like, you have a good voice, because she knows singing, you know. And then I was like, oh, really? Like, and then I just started doing it, and the first piano or keyboard I had was from her. Like down here, and then I really started like, oh, I can play this thing, and then she like, yeah, take it then, and then because she's tight, and then this guitar over here, and then it just everything just came to me though, like really easily, and it's like, I don't know.
I think it's a natural thing. It's got to be natural, and like, and it seems like you don't overthink it. You just feel. That's what I'm getting from
maybe
you,
like
you use it.
Sorry, I'm over talking you. My bad. I'm just thinking like it's like it really makes you realize like what talent is, and then the difference between talent and skill, you know?
Right.
Because it's like Basquiat's talented, you know?
Oh yeah.
The painter.
Yeah.
Like so, but skill, it's like he's drawing like a toddler, so you couldn't really gauge him that way. But it's like the talent outweighs the skill, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yep.
I don't want no skilled music, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like I don't want that. I don't want to listen to something like that. Like that's what's so ill about. It's like Ninth has like perfect pitch, you know, but he's just like, I'm fucking with this. Like that's what's so sick to me. Like, you know, I don't
And
know.
as far as with drums, what would you consider any drums to be bad? Like, would that depend on how they're EQ'd, or if the drum programming is off, like it's too busy or it's too offbeat? What do you think about that? Are there any bad drums?
Yeah, just ones that aren't in the pocket. Like it's like you can always make anything work. I tend to not like papery sounding, like thin ones, but like it's really just about the pocket, and that's what I'm kind of realizing too. Is like within loops and shit, like if it's just like a couple bars or whatever it is, like, or a bar, or even like it's like to be able to create like a pattern sort of like in the air of just like being like you can go off and leave different spaces, but at the end of the day the physics got to be the same for it to have like the rhythm right. And you wouldn't think about, I don't think about it that way, but like now that I'm recording and like not quantizing stuff, I'm starting to realize like how loops can like lean back and shit like that, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that's ill, but no, I wouldn't say anything's bad. I just think that we all know what's up, you know. Like you hear something, you know. Like like, and if someone, there is something though that a lot of times like people don't. Some people can't really fully grasp what I think the pocket is. Like it's like you know, certain. It's just like it's not a rhythmic thing, but it's like they'll be like this beat's tight, and then it's like, I'm not being overtech. It's just like this, the hi-hats landing weird, like on the snare, or the snare's off with the sample snare that's in the background, but it's like hitting different times, like too early. It's just like annoying. Like it's kind of like having like a scab that's ready to come off and you don't just flick it off. Like, you know, there is a sweet spot. It's a sweet spot where you can make it loose, but if you make it too loose, then it's not true. It's all. But knowledge that mama beat, you know.
Yeah.
Knowledge, the Kendrick song, Mama. Like,
I love that song.
Like that sloppy, you know, like that shit. Like he holds it together. He like, it's sort of like a metaphor for life, where it's like you hold it together just enough before it falls apart. You know, that's kind of like we go through times like that too. So music is such a Yeah.
And I know you may be watching this video on YouTube, but I also have my podcast on Spotify. So now you can subscribe to my Back to the Boom Bap podcast on Spotify for just $5 a month. And you can listen to video interviews, audio interviews, ad-free, no ads. Okay. So if that sounds like something that would be dope to you, then make sure that you click on that link that you can see going across the screen right now, so you can go straight to my podcast, the Back to the Boom Bap podcast on Spotify. All right, peace. Tell me the story of your producer tag. Is that your voice on that saying Eric?
No, it's this. Fuck, I know his name. Well, whatever. He's a North Carolina radio guy, but someone I was working with back in the day, like, just sent him to me. Like, he worked at a radio station. He had this guy that does ads, like, that's like, how you doing or whatever, like
yeah,
nice. Or I don't know that I'm doing. I don't have no idea what I'm doing. But like he just did. He worked at a radio station. He's a guy that had that voice, like a white guy you'd expect, that like a car salesman guy that's like, you know.
Yeah.
But so and then it said, but they used to say like Eric G, and like I just thought it sounded funny because his like rhythm with the way he talked, it's like just cutting it at the Eric, because he was expecting to say G. It just that's what makes it sound funny, because it's like Eric, like abrupt, because it's like I cut the G off, because I always didn't really want to, like, I always wanted to just have my name be like my first name, not like that, but just like no one calls me Eric G. They ended up calling me that because I did that, but I'm glad I didn't like name myself like something wild, you know.
Yeah.
I'm glad it was my real name.
Yeah, it's dope because it's quick and it's just enough. It's just enough that when I hear it, like, oh, okay, that's Eric G, you know.
The funniest ones, I low key want to like start using them, like when I'm doing like doing like full songs of all played stuff, but then just having it be like Eric G beats, like one of those like whack ones that's like that sounds like a hot girl like saying their shit, you know. like I don't know. I think those are just like, damn, what, like you're in it for something else that I'm not, you know.
Yeah. And like even though you have the producer tag, I always wanted to know, like, are you one of those producers who likes to be behind the scenes rather than in the spotlight?
Yeah, I guess, but not. I wouldn't even really think about it like that. I'm just like kind of maneuvering through life how it comes at me and whatever. So, like, I don't know. I just think that, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. What was the question again? Sorry, I'm getting confused.
I mean, well, you kind of answered it though. Like, you said you don't really look at it that way, but it was about like, you know, you being, do you like to be behind the scenes rather than some like
yeah, no. I don't think so. I think that like I have been behind the scenes, but I think that like I did a beat showcase like not too long ago. I think it was like in 2022, but it was in LA and stuff. And like a lot of the time, like I just talked a lot at the beginning of the set, and then in between like songs, I was just playing beats that I did or whatever. It was just like one of those type of things. But I talked a lot and stuff, and people were like laughing and stuff. And I was like, I like realized like that it's like how fulfilling it is to like do something like that, you know? Because like people were like enjoying it and shit, and it was like, whoa. So like, I don't know. I think I'm probably like a performer type person. I just didn't really get it fully, but I'm like, again, like with the play and everything and whatever, like I think that we'll see, you know.
yeah. And you told me earlier kind of how you met Sky Zoo, but I wanted to kind of ask you a different question about on Sky Zoo's album The Salvation. For What It's Worth is one of my favorite songs on there. So like I just kind of wanted to know like what you remember about the making of that song, and you know, whenever he picked that track and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's the one that Ninth was talking about at the release thing. That's like how we met. Like you were saying, he was like, he has the best song on the album. It was that song. So, okay. But that beat, guys, you had an idea for that song, and I tried like actually hella different like samples and different like tries. It's like trying to hit the bullseye or something. It took a while for me to do, actually. It was, now that I think about it, but yeah, it was his idea and stuff. Not necessarily the sample, but like the feel. I think he said he wanted something like shit. Yeah, what was it? What's the Alchemist? Is it We Gonna Make It?
We Gonna Make It with the Jadakiss.
That shit. I did that off, but yeah. Yeah, like I think he was saying like something like that, but something also like something off Jay-Z shit, like maybe like Dead Presidents or something like that, like something like
a
moody
song, like and kind of serious for like a story type, that type of deal. Like,
yeah, something like that. Yeah, so that's how that one worked out, and then I just like found that sample, and I know it's been used and stuff, but it's tight because it was just I used the snares from the very beginning of the song goes like the sample. So I just used the snare and I put it over itself and lined it up, and I just put a kick under it, and then I think bass, but I don't even know about that. I think I might have used bass from the sample, just hella like straight loop. And
it's a loop, but it worked. It worked. That was one of the times when a loop was all it needed. You know.
That's why I was hella proud of that, because Ninth, like not for Ninth to say it like that, and then for it to be a loop was kind of like, that's tight. Yeah. Not like, because like it seems like some from an ego standpoint, it like seems like some Dilla shit or something, you know, because like he'll be just something you'll find to be like, you think he made a whole keyboard beat out of something, and then it's just like, oh, you know, he looped some electronic record or something, you know.
Right. Yeah. And when what I notice about your tracks is that you pick really great samples. So in the days when you were sampling and stuff a lot for your tracks,
I'm still gonna sample. I'm not saying.
You still are. Yeah. Okay.
I'm just like I just love music so much, so I figure I might as well pay it its proper due and like figure it all out, you know.
Yeah. So
a lot of people do this, what I'm doing, and they fucking blow it, like, you know.
Yeah,
I've like people get like instruments and like gear and stuff, and then they'll just start fucking like just making terrible music and like dressing weird and shit. But like I
you gotta stay cool with it and not fall into that trap.
No, I know. I need everyone to be super brutally honest with me. That's what I'm saying. Like, just don't. No one gas me up, please.
Yeah.
Like, my voice is hoarse from singing and shit lately. Like, that's what it's. But it's crazy to like post shit on like lines that's like your voice, like singing, and then like just be cool with it. Like you would think that, you know, when you first heard your voice recorded ever or something, and then you always like it. Yeah. Like, or if you sing it or record yourself singing, you're like, Jesus, I'm awful, you know, like I'm terrible. Like, but then it's like to get to a point where it's like, fuck it. Like, it's kind of like sick. Like, it's like, I think that like Thundercat like went through this type of shit too. Like when he started singing, he was like, I guess I'm singing now. Like, it's part of it. Like, that's how I feel too.
Yeah, I guess you gotta find that balance where you care what other people think, but you don't care what other people think. You know, you're putting it out.
Well, that balance is basically, I think that balance just is like, like you just know it's fire, you know, because it's like you can't lie to yourself that much, you know, like it's
right.
Like,
you don't want to be delusional. I get that.
Yeah, and it's also like if you're feeling something from it and whatever, and it's not, you're never gonna have to really necessarily ask somebody what they think. You know what I mean? Like, not no cocky shit, but like you always want input or whatever. But it's like a lot of input just kind of comes from a place of commerce, and it's not really from a place of art. You know?
Yeah.
Like it comes from a place of like, well, it won't. Like it's either dope or it's not. That's really all it is, you know.
Yeah, and like for your samples,
like to pick apart stuff. Sorry, what?
You go ahead. You finish what you're gonna say.
I was just gonna say like to pick apart like I don't think Quincy Jones would like pick apart like I mean, maybe if he was making it, but at the product end of it, it's like, even if the mix is terrible and stuff, it's still going to be like, you can see what the song is, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's either good or not, I guess. But I don't know. I'm just being redundant.
You're all good, man. Yeah. And I've met Rhapsody on 2 or 3 occasions. But as someone like you and who's worked with her directly, and earlier you said you all are like brother and sister. Like, what's it like working with Rap?
funny. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Funny, but like no fucking around, sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, like yeah, like but she's goofy and stuff, but she takes the music hella serious. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I can definitely tell that.
And you know, like I always feel like when I go to the studio and shit.
Can't see. We can't see.
My fault. See, hey man, my production team's lacking. Oh, God, what was that? Oh yeah, but every time I'm at the studio and stuff, like, or whatever, it's someone else's time, so I always feel like a lot of pressure like that. But the pressure that I feel isn't from like my skill level or nothing. It's from like I hate computers, and like I only know how to use certain things on the computer, like that. Like I'm not that up on technology or whatever, but it's just not really my thing. Then I'm hella impatient with it, and then just to have people behind you like being like move that like this, it's like
yeah.
Like, I'm like what I'm now doing is like I'll use whatever, but I'm bringing my hands and maybe like a hard drive to the studio. I'm not bringing a laptop, you know?
Yeah. Whatever works for you.
I'm not the computer guy. Like, yeah, I'm not doing none of that. Unless it's for myself and I'm alone and I have time to process what I'm doing. It's like, I can't, under someone else's pressure, dealing with samples and like what I want to do with them and stuff, I don't really do well. But playing music, like, and just doing like whatever, that's super relieving to me. And it's like I'm actually making dope songs and stuff now. So I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's what's up. Like I said, I would have never known that, you know, you felt that way about computers, because, you know, the way your tracks sound and stuff is like, you know, you figure it out enough.
Yeah, but it's like, I think maybe I wore myself out a little bit, like just being like meticulous, and I've made thousands and thousands and thousands of beats using thousands and thousands and thousands of samples, you know. So it's like I just like and I grew up musical, like not like in the music. My dad played guitar and I just played drums when I was 8 years old, and just kind of like, he told me recently that when I got drums and stuff, he said that I didn't really have to learn them. He said I just like kind of like someone showed me how, but I could play like right away, and I didn't know that, but that's crazy to me. And so it's like, I think that's how everything else is kind of unfolding, you know. And it's like, now that I can record them with the same mics that like Nirvana used or countless others, you know, like, is super tight. Like, and just all the influences and people that I have behind me, it's like it's tight. Like I'm like super elated about the music I'm doing now.
Okay, and also, what's it like working with Ruben Vincent? You know, the newest kid on the block at Jamla.
Yeah, he's super talented, like just and skilled, you know. So that's a motherfucker. But yeah, we just rap battle and stuff. But now that, like, I don't know, he's really going hard like now. So like, and he's got stuff going on with like rock and stuff like that. So with Rock Nation. But like it's like Jamla all day. But I'm just saying, like, it's good for his, like, he's a beast, and he's super dedicated. Like, it's like kind of like, I'm starting to understand like this type of stuff where Ninth used to like put me on is sort of like what I could see, like, oh, like this kid means it, like Ruben like fucking means it, you know.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah, like, but so like now that I could see like what Ninth saw in someone like me or him or whatever, but the age difference and all this, but I could actually look at him and be like, oh, okay, yeah, like dedication is a motherfucker, you know.
Oh yeah.
I use two motherfuckers. I gotta stop. This is being recorded.
you all good, man. All right, and the track that you did for the late great Mac Miller called 2009, that's a beautiful track. Like, you know, the strings in the intro, the pianos, the finger snap snares. Like, how did I didn't
do the strings though. Someone else did the strings. Separate from that.
Yeah.
I just made that beat. It's a I just did I just made that beat on a day I lived in Seattle at the time, and it was just like I would be making beats every day, like as many as I could, as good as I could possibly do them. And like I was like riding a bike for like Postmates probably.
Yeah.
And like which I mean, like, fuck, that was super hard, but I was probably so fucking fit at the time. But like he just had come through, and I had met him. This is after I lived in North Carolina, so I met him in North Carolina, and like through all that, like I would but like he was coming through Seattle, and this is like when he was like dating like Ariana Grande and stuff.
Yeah.
And like they just came through, and then we went to the studio a few times. My friend, our mutual friend or whatever, Vinny, who's like a super close homie of mine. He's alright, but like I don't know. But he was staying in my house, and so we just like it just got done that way. But he told me, he's like, you should play that for Mac, that beat, and I was like, okay. And I did that, but when I did that, he was sleeping on the couch, like he just passes out all the time, so he was just like sleeping on the couch. And but yeah, we did the song. It was like crazy. Yeah, it was a crazy moment.
Yeah, he seemed like such a cool dude, man. Like, you know,
he's like he's young, and he's just hella. He gave me like advice that I still, not advice, but just he's like one of those people that you could be around and just like start to like you just understand stuff, because he's like, I don't know, like I remember I called my girlfriend at the time when the night we were recording that song, and I told her that like I felt like I could feel the universe like talking to me, you know?
Yeah.
Not on no like, oh, it's Mac Miller, but just on some like, I was like addicted to drugs at the time and stuff, like, and I just like,
oh, okay.
Yeah, not like I'm not on some no pity shit. I shouldn't have even said that, but like it just that in a sounded too brash. I just like had something that like I had to like basically like wean off of, and the withdrawals were hella bad, you know. And like I was scared to do it because I'd never been in that position before. It was an accident, you know, whatever. And I was just like, oh shit, like. But we talked so much about that, and he had like a sober coach guy there with him, which like is kind of weird, but I guess people do that. But like, yeah, I don't know. It was just like this whole moment and like thing, and I wouldn't get specific about it. And I don't think that like anything that anyone says publicly about drugs and stuff is necessarily beneficial to anybody, because it's just mostly just like to put people in jail and to like make pharmaceutical companies rich, you know. It's like you can't get healthcare, but you can and so then you don't get healthcare, but then if you buy drugs on the street, you might get fentanyl. Like, what do you think that's there for, you know? Obviously like it's just like crack again, you know, or it's just like how the government put poison in alcohol and set it out during Prohibition, just, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same shit.
Yep, I know exactly what you mean, man. It's crazy.
I'm just a hella like on a tangent, but no, that I don't know. There's the Mac thing was super cool, and the tiny desk he did was amazing.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And yeah, he just like a really just he's just super like wise beyond his years type guy, and like also it's like I seem like he lived a pretty like full life, and that's not up for me to say, but I'm just saying it's like a lot of people could live for 100 years and their book won't be as thick as his, you know. So,
yeah, that's the interesting thing about it, you know. He did what he was supposed to do on this earth, you know.
Yes, sir. I think he represented pretty good for the whites, you know. Or something, you know. Yeah.
All right. Tell me about the T.I., the Amazing Mr. F Up, you know.
Yeah. He just came over with that was in LA, and we were in a studio, and he just this guy Law, who's a friend of ours, works for Rock Nation, or did. He was having people come through and like listen to beats and stuff, and like Trinidad James had come, and then T.I. came, and I was working with his son Domani, so he I did a lot on his like first album, but he was just there, like probably just checking the temperature because Donnie was hella young at the time. So that just, I was making that beat, and then Tip told me to give it to Damani, so I was like, yeah, no doubt, whatever. And then he later on, it turned out that he's like, yeah, Tip rapped on it. Someone told me, I think Ninth or somebody told me that he rapped on it. And then then it just went from there. And then we had to get it replayed and stuff. And originally,
the sample that they had to get it.
Yeah, but you know Sid from the internet.
Sid from the internet. Oh,
yeah,
the group, the internet. Yeah.
Yeah. She I don't know her, but she did the replay of the original replay. I still have it, but we didn't use it on the album for the actual song. But the original replay like is just like a different melody and stuff, but Sid did it all, and it's just like super tight. Like
that's what's up. Still had your drums on
I remade that one, but went with the same drums and stuff.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's dope.
Yeah, I gotta look that up again.
All right.
Put it out without her authorization.
What was that?
So just put it out without her authorization. Not that anyone would give a fuck. You know?
Okay, so you did the second half of the song Cohiba that Black Thought did on the
the Ninth had the first
2,
one,
right? How did that come about?
Wait. That was just one of the text things, I think, in a conversation with Ninth and the Soul Council and stuff like that, where he'd be like, send beats for Black Thought, you know?
Yeah.
And, it was just like that,
like this,
I think.
You know, like nonchalantly, just send beats to Black Thought.
It won't be nonchalant, really, but it won't be, you know, but over the years, we've all kind of learned like what we're supposed to do in that situation through trial and error, you know, whatever.
Right. Okay, and for
Anthony Hamilton.
That was the same
type of. That was the same way. I made that record for Crisis. Did one, I think, for Heather. I forget the name of the song. Damn, but it's like a Nas sample, but a replay. And so we were like, we're thinking this angle. Maybe it's Japan something. But we're doing that like for her album. So I used that Mobb Deep sample like because I was trying to like, I think Crisis had used a Nas one or whatever. I think it was like maybe the One Love sample or something.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'll go that route. So I did Mobb Deep, like whatever, but I used that and I sent that to Heather for that. And I think it ended up on the studio computer. And then I'm guessing when Anthony Hamilton was in North Carolina at one point, Ninth played him that or something. And then that's how it happened. But I wasn't there for anything.
Okay, that's dope how it can happen like that. Like that was originally for Heather Victoria. The you know, he heard it, but I like how you did it because it, you know, it feels like R&B but kind of hip hop at the same time. You know,
I always wanted to put a bridge in something because like, you know how Ninth did on Destiny's Fulfilled or whatever. The song Girl and like all those, they're all samples, but they all got bridges, but the bridges are also from the samples, and it's just like I always thought that was so tight. It's like Premier, you know, it's like Premier doing a bridge sample or something. Like it just is like a level up in the game of production with samples, like in that choppy way. I just thought it was so sick that you're working with Beyonce doing bridges and you sampled like fucking Marlena Shaw, you know? or what's his name, Melba Moore. Melba Moore.
Melba Moore for the I think is she the reason?
Ninth live. Ninth was DJing on live on Instagram yesterday, and she was just in the chat like, Ninth, like Melba Moore.
Wow.
Like what?
That's amazing, man.
Ninth knows everybody.
Yeah. And since you've worked with so many artists in your career, your style is so diverse. Like, is there anybody that you want to work with that people might see as an unexpected collab?
Want to work with?
Yeah, that you haven't worked with yet?
Myself, yeah. That's pretty much it.
Collab with yourself?
Well, I mean, singing now and stuff. I don't think I think I could branch out to like any arena of music, but I mean, this is probably the most extreme.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Like,
hearing it. Hearing hearing you singing and stuff. Like that's
dope. It'll be good. Yeah.
At least that's the plan, right?
No, I already know it. Like, I mean, I've recorded. I have stuff, but I just haven't put nothing out. But like, I send like little snippets to people here and there, and I'm like, it's good. Like it, and yeah, you can't not be good at this point because it's like, I don't know. It's like I'm gonna make it good, you know. Like, I'm not gonna just make it shitty, you know.
Is there a freedom that you get from like a project like your Eric Invented the Remix, where you can just match your favorite acapellas with your beats, not have to worry about business stuff?
That was fun. Like, that's a part of it. Was all like, I didn't know it at the time, but it's all like kind of like under the umbrella of like learning, because it's like then you start to realize like your ear gets developed in a way if you're doing R&B ones and stuff. Like, I would just play the acapella, then I would scroll through the beats, and then once I heard they matched, like the keys matched, like I don't know how, but you just it sounds right. It really helps you develop like an ear to be. It's like a lot of kids now, it's like they're gonna be, I don't want to be like the kids now guy, but a lot of people are gonna be using software to like a crazy extent, like to where it's like ain't nobody gonna be playing like fucking all instruments or something like that, you know what I mean?
It's gonna make it too easy, because
I mean, but for the end product, but it's like if that person was to go do a show, it'd be like, what the fuck? Like, so like I'm saying, like there's no evolving curve with learning to play instruments, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no that, like, since like Beethoven or whatever, it's probably just been the same, you know?
Yeah.
So that's like, it's just the ultimate like solid form of the medium, you know?
Yeah. And I've seen on your IG it says Rainy Day Toys 21024. Is that a new project that you're releasing?
Yeah, that's like I think that's a name. I have a couple names for different things, but that's like the name of my album that I'm gonna be like the first thing I put out that's like me singing and like writing the music and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, the release date is 20 years after College Dropout came out to the day. So it's also another thing like that, you know, because College Dropout was February 10th, 2004. And so it'll be February 10th, 2024. Yeah. And hopefully it'll be on Rock Nation too. Okay,
cool. Yeah, I'll definitely be looking out for that. And are there any other projects that you can talk about that you're currently working on?
Like I'm working. Rhapsody's doing hella shit, but yeah, but I mean that's for her to talk about. But like yeah, it's definitely look for her things. But like as far as anything else, like I'm producing this guy now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what's up, man.
Me, yeah.
All right, and Eric G, I've enjoyed talking with you on this podcast. Just like, you know, and for anybody that you know is looking for beats, wants to hear more of your music, what's the best ways that they can reach out to you?
Patreon.com/EricGGG. That's where I post in like a bunch of like I post drums and different like freestyles. What a freestyle is basically just I play drums and then I'll play the piano over it, then I'll play bass or like whatever over it, and I'll just post it. But like I'm just doing like a stream of like the shit that I'm doing, learning how to record and sing and stuff like that. So if you sign up for the Patreon, you'll be able to like go there and like every day I'll post something or like how I write music. I don't know, just to have like a lens on that. And then I also have there's like 2,000 something beats up there, like 33 albums or something like that of just stuff that like it's secret SoundCloud links, but they're posted on the feed of the Patreon. But then also Eric GGG on Instagram, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, that's awesome, man. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, man. You know,
likewise. Thanks for listening to me. No, I appreciate it. I'm glad that I'm glad that we made it happen because
Yeah, we made it happen, man. I appreciate it, man. And
I was just like trying to make it overcomplicated. And then you're just like no. And then I went through all the stuff and they're like, let's do it this way. Then you're like, how about we just do it exactly how I was gonna do it?
I sent you the link. But that's dope, though, man. Like looking forward to more music from you, man. And
me too. I need it. No. I really am though, because like this like recording me, like I remember when I was like a little kid, like literally like 3 years old, like I remember like pots and pans, like playing drums like that and stuff. But then like I always knew that like I don't know. I just always knew that this is what I am and stuff. And it's like, it's almost, I was telling Rap the other day, actually it's too personal, but I just like, I feel like it's God given, you know? It's like crazy.
You're born to do it, man.
Born to do it, but didn't realize it. Like I realized it, but God like did a whole nother thing recently, and it's just crazy, you know?
Yeah.
It's really like I'm just taking it in. Like I feel so blessed to be able to play these things and do this and record it and like express myself that way, and I can paint and stuff. Like I'm just really happy right now, and excited to share that, you know.
That's awesome, man. Yep. Dope music, man.
Yeah. All right, man. Well.
All right, man. No, you've been busy and stuff, man. Let you get back to doing what you got to do.
Just watching TV, but then it's like the shit. Everything's ready, you know.
Yeah.
No, I'm recording like hella diligently, and I have way too many ideas to manage. But yeah, I'm just happy that people like mildly pay attention to me. That's just because there's no way I'd be doing anything else. I'll be Jamie Foxx Under the Bridge, like that movie where he plays cello, you know.
Yeah.
Like the homeless guy or whatever, like that. I'll be that before I go like work a job at this point. And I don't mean that to be entitled. I mean that to be like, even though people will still say that is entitled and stuff, I don't mean it like that. I just mean that that's not what I'm not going to waste my time doing something. I'm not here for that. Like, and it's not entitlement. It's not whatever. You can just leave me alone if that's the case. But it's like, I'm lucky enough to know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So like, I ain't going to go make no whatever. I'll just figure it out. For the people that understand me, they'll help me until I can help them, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's super dope, man. I think you dropped a lot of gems for people on this podcast. You know, they can hear and get something from it. It's valuable, you know. So that's what's up.
And Godspeed with your podcast, doggy.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, hit me back up. Let me hit the gym. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Peace.
All right. Peace, man. What do I do? Do I disclose it? That'll be you should just.
Yeah.
Hey, don't become like Vlad TV. All right. All right, no, but thank you, man, for real. That was
all right. Thank you, man. You have a great rest of your night, man.
Yeah, text me, holla.
Okay, I will, man.